Well, hello everyone. It's like you talked to you about right here is like you're talking about, best of life begins. It's basically talking about is like what you see is, from my own, baby pictures, of course, with the, for the time back then, from back in, 1989, and of course in 1995 it was, is basically to showing you right there is like a few of my, school, it's like school pictures, and of course with, baby pictures is basically talking about, best of life begins is basically talking about is like from whenever the time I was raised, and of course the time from what we experience, of course, and then from graduation it is. But basically talks about is that from the time from whenever I graduated, it is basically talking about is like that we went through some of those times of knowing about our learning experience. It basically was, and basically the whole fact of the matter is knowing about it's like from how we learned, and of course maybe from how we looked, and best known is for our nicknames it is. And I've been called like what you call like for Smiley Matt, and of course I've been called maybe for maybe Happy Me or something like that, or Giggles, or say or Pup, or some nickname like that. But I only into the knowing about with most of the T's and nicknames I have gotten, of course, whenever I was in school was basically talks about it's like for whom your friends know you by. And like with me though, that I could probably describe as like what you call as like for a nickname it is basically between like what you call as like for Smiley Me or anything like that of knowing about the best of life you say begins of knowing about for who people know me best as, and knowing about was like say besides you say brought intelligence is knowing about for things for the skills I can basically do it is. But on the other hand too, knowing about that from whenever I was a kid, enjoying what you call like maybe the fact about for summer swimming, or if it's like what you call like maybe sitting down watching TV, whichever it is. But basically knowing about the fact about is like for say was my basic skills about talking about is like the things I can do with my hands it is. And so far as like whistle while you were, but other than that, like talking about as I talking about it's like for practice. But other than that, like talking about it's like for best of life, talking about the best of life begins. It's like talk about it's like for the safe spirit of the heart, knowing about like that this is what I can do. It's like but so far as just you can do this, but other than that, it's like talking about right here. So far the best of life like begins.